Hi, boys and girls. So today for our reading lesson, we're going to be practicing. I want you to just watch and kind of follow along how I'm going to fill in this story structure chart. So we have up here at the top, we have the characters of our story, and the title of our story, obviously, is A Cupcake Party. Let me go ahead and add that at the top. And we read that yesterday. And we have our characters, our setting, and our plot. So if you remember, our characters are the people or the animals in the story. And then we have the setting, which is where the story takes place. And then we have the plot, which is the story events, okay? So today, we're going to practice going through and filling out this story structure chart together. So if we read through the story, we see that our first character that we meet is Fritz. And at the beginning, the setting of the story is taking place in Fritz's house. Okay, now the setting can change in a story. So you could start in a certain place in the story and then move to another. The setting in the story can just change depending on where the characters go. So we have Fritz, and Fritz decides that he wants to have a party with his friends. So first, Fritz goes and he talks to Kit, which is the cat. So we meet our second character there. Then Fritz decides to go and invite his friend Jack, which is the dog. And if we continue to turn the pages, Fritz also invites his two friends, Fran, which is a bird, and Stan. Okay. And then we have Stan as a badger. And then if we go further on, Fritz also decides to invite his friend Glenn, which is the bear. And that is all for the characters. So now I'm going to back up, and we see that in the beginning of the story, the setting is in Fritz's house. And then he goes and invites all of his friends. So I'm going to say it takes place in the forest. And then it ends up back at Fritz's house, so we don't have to write that twice. So now for the plot is actually the largest part of the chart because it's going to list the events that happen in the story. So we'll just keep it simple for today. So we'll say Fritz decides he wants to have a party with his friends. After he decides that, then Fritz invites his friends to the party. And after he is done inviting his friends, then Fritz starts to bake cupcakes for his friends. After that, Fritz decorates the cupcakes. After decorating the cupcakes, and we remember he used pictures of his friends on each one, we could say his friends arrive to his house. And after they arrive, his friends give him a gift. And then they share the cupcakes. And the reason that we filled this out today, boys and girls, is just because it helps us to understand the story better. It helps us to remember who is in the story, where it takes place, and what happens during the whole story. So you're going to practice that later in the week, filling out a story structure chart, and you'll do it with a different story that I'll give to you to read later in the week, but you'll have to pick out the characters, the setting, and the plot of the story. All right, boys and girls, have a wonderful day. Don't forget to submit your assignments on Seesaw.